Welcome to the Tippie Toe podcast. We got a special guest tonight. Who my guest is, my dog?
This your boy Mcklezie.com, Cass City's Golden Kid, Mr. Rah 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 Ray 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 and all that good shit. Yo, baby mama's baby daddy, the new Brewster's Million, aka I'm still here, yeah.
Turn up, man. How the ride was coming down here, though, dog?
The ride was straight, man. You know, I mean, it ain't too far, man. I stay in the crib. I'm in Cass City, so
okay, then.
You know what I'm saying? Just 30 minutes away. Man, but you know, it was a vibe.
Man, you know they've been saying I had to bring you through because people don't know, like, you know, you legendary with this music. Like, from been doing this shit, so we wanted to take them by it real quick, dog.
Let's go there.
So if people don't know, you feel me, one more time, what you go by, dog?
My name is Mcklezie, Cass City's Golden Kid, Mr. Rah 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 Ray 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 and all that good shit. Yo, baby mama's baby daddy, the new Brewster's Million, aka I'm still here after all these years. You can't get rid of me.
Okay, then they want to know, was music always part of your life, or that's something you like, how did it come about, bro?
Music has always been like a big part of my life since, I want to say since 3-4 years old. I think I wrote my first song when I was 4 years old.
4 years old.
Yeah, like I was one of them annoying ass kids. My old girl would play music and I'd be like singing my own words to shit, making shit up, humming, doing extra fast beats to slow songs. Like I was that annoying ass kid, one of them kids that be like, man, if you don't stop that shit, like that was that shit. So music has always been a big part of my life, and as I matured, like, you know, 5, 6, 7 years old, as I got older, you know, I had the right people that encouraged me to go further and help me with the strong song structures. And
so was the family into the music too, basically?
My family everybody's a musician. My uncle was a DJ. He was Sweetie D from the, I can't remember Sweetie D was his DJ name. He used to have all them big cabinet speakers out there and doing his thing. My aunt, every weekend when I'm on my aunt's house, she put on all the oldies and clean the house, and it was the whole weekend. All we doing is cleaning the house. So all we listening to was Shirley Caesar and Patti LaBelle and Betty Wright. You know what I'm talking about? My old girl was a singer. Everybody in my family just had that musical situation, but like I was the only one that really like, yeah, fuck what y'all saying. This is what I'm gonna make my life. So
as growing up, nobody want you to do music, basically.
Nah.
Or was it the type of music what you?
You know, when I was growing up, rap wasn't really like nobody was claiming to be a rapper.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? So like, you know, there wasn't no rap stations, nothing like that. So it wasn't like nobody was encouraging me to do music. It's just like it wasn't an idea to do. It's like nah. So I was really. When I was growing up, believe it or not, I was more into being a lawyer.
Okay, then.
Yeah, like I was good with the words. By the time I got into high school, I was in one of those law clubs and shit like that. I was going.
So you was with it for real? Then.
Yeah. Like really into it, like mock trials, competitions, all of that stuff. That was what I was doing. But my heart, you know what I'm saying, that was your old girl talking to you and be like, yo, this is what you got to do, and you gonna make that your passion because your old girl want to see you succeed in that. But my heart was like, Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, like rapping, like, you know. I was like, nah, man.
What age did you feel like did you know that was your passion, or that's what you wanted to do?
Like I said, I was always writing songs. So I said that when the time that I said like this is it, this is what I want to do, probably was like junior high school, when I wrote a song and composed it. Ooh. And sang it to a girl, and I was like, yeah, I just knew it, like, yeah, this is it. And she was like, yeah, that's straight, I got a boyfriend though. That's a nice song. That's a nice song. I got a boyfriend though.
Okay, then. So, but growing up, who did you listen to? And they wanted to know, like, both parents, single parent, like how it was. You feel me?
Yeah, I was definitely in a single parent home. My old girl was like my old boy. You know what I'm talking about? Like she was the oldest of the family, so she had already had experience raising kids, like her sisters and everything like that. So I was the oldest boy. You know what I'm talking about? And yeah, it was a weird thing growing up with to everybody, and like my whole family is nothing but women. Like all my aunts, all my uncles passed away. Like, you know, one of my uncles died from AIDS. My other uncle was killed on 43rd. You know what I'm saying? My other uncles was always locked away, so only the women. I only knew all my aunts and my mom and my grandmother at the time growing up. So, you know, there wasn't really no male figures around like that. But to answer your question, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? It was just always traveling, always moving, you know what I'm saying? Everywhere in Miami, from Overtown to Liberty City to Little Haiti to North Miami Beach to when she finally got to Aventura, like we not moving no more. Okay, so she kept moving her way up, you know what I'm talking about, and she did the best she could.
And like you say, rap ain't something that everybody was into, but when it started being, like, who was your favorite artist growing up listening to?
My favorite artist, like my top 5, hands down.
When you was young, not now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So when I grew up, I grew up on the Juice Crew, like Big Daddy Kane, Biz Markie, Cool G Rap. Like those is people that I grew up listening to. Then later on, you know, like everything. But you know what? It wasn't just hip hop that was like shaping me. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on everything. Like I saw, you know, gospel music. I'm at my aunt's house. She playing all the gospel music. My uncle played all the Miami music, so I learned about Luke. Actually, Luke is my aunt's daughter's godfather.
Okay, then.
You know what I'm saying? So I got ties to the community like that. So I just grew up on everybody. You know what I'm saying? But Poison Clan for sure, JT Money. But that shaped me, Big Daddy Kane, Grand Poobah. Like when I first heard them, I was like, damn, like the way they put lyrics together, and then they was comical with it. It was like, it wasn't like straight, like, you know, run up on you, blah blah blah. They was like, they say it in a way that you laugh and it's like, that shit funny as fuck. Like comedians telling jokes but with rhymes.
Okay, then.
So that, you know, you could hear it kind of in my style a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And that's who my uncles listened to. So I grew up listening to what they listened to.
And at that time in Miami, it was only Luke and at that time?
Nah, when I was growing up, nah. It was Luke, it was Poison Clan, it was the Gucci Crew, Young and Restless, Home Team. I was a big Home Team fan. Yeah, like Madball, and it's just like, you know, the whole crib was like, that's what I listened to.
So now you know, your mom wanted to be a lawyer. So why it ain't work out? Let us know, like, what happened with that career?
Yeah, nah. My mom wanted me to be a lawyer. I was good with the words. Went all the way to high school, studying everything like that. But just sometimes you just know in your heart where you're supposed to be at, and that wasn't it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't. It's not what. When you get into a situation where when you go to sleep, that's what you think about. When you wake up, that's what you think about. Then that's what you're supposed to be doing. And that's how I was. Like I wake up and I already got a song on my heart I'm singing, or I got some things that I'm thinking about, or music I want to go play. When I go to bed, I'm thinking about, damn, I want to change a couple of words on that song. You feel me? Like
you was in the zone.
Yeah. So it wasn't me living out my dream. It was me living out her dream. You know what I'm saying? And your parents, you know, they want the best for you.
Facts.
But sometimes they want the best for you despite what you want. You know what I'm saying? And that was the case. So, I mean, I did what she was asking me to do, whatever like that. But at the same time, I was working around, going to studios and everything like that. And the interest, everybody's like, dog, you nice.
Oh, so you nice with your first time going to, like, was it a real studio, a homemade studio? You remember your first time?
The first time I went to a studio, I think I was 14 years old, okay. 14, 15 years old. I had a rap crew called Massive Journey. And
so you was in a group before?
Yeah.
So how that came about? How did y'all form the group before y'all got to?
We was just, you know, it wasn't often that anybody liked to rap or whatever like that. So when you come in the same neighborhood and y'all all rappers, you form a clique.
Yeah.
So we just formed a clique, and we patched up our bread, and from odd jobs or whatever like that, mowing the lawn, washing dishes, whatever we could do, patched up our bread, and we went to a studio in North Miami, and that we get there, and I promise you, we didn't even make it in the studio. We like getting ready to do our studio, and there was these two young men. They was around their 20s then, and they like, what y'all in here, boy? Like, we about to record or whatever like that. So like kick something for us. So we out there, happy go lucky. Shit, we just rapping for hours, and they were like we signing y'all.
Okay then.
So we got signed, and we ain't record one song, nothing like that. But he was just, they were so impressed by the group, because it was me, it was Trini Blunt, who was Trinidadian, and then it was Panama, who was from Panama, and we just had like so many eclectic sounds going together. You know, one come in with the patois and start ripping. I do my little melody harmony shit, and you know what I'm saying. And then Panama do his Spanish, and he like, boy, y'all boys gonna make it, man. We signing y'all, boy. We signing y'all, boy. It's like, give me a second. We gotta go move some bricks, but we gonna work this. We gonna work this out though. We gonna sign y'all, boys. And so they signed us. I'm saying Drunk Drew, he old school in the hip hop gang. Drunk Drew and Alfonso, they took a chance on me, and we recorded our first record with our first single, and they pressed up copies and put it out there.
What that single was though?
It was called Keep It Going.
The group or just you?
It was the group. Okay. The group, Massive Journey, and the song was called Keep It Going. They had sampled that Trans Euro Express. And we just keep it going, keep it flowing, and just spazzed all over it. Okay. No hook, no nothing. Just keep it going. And I probably even remember that shit if I tried it. But
and y'all ended up pressing that.
They pressed it up. And went out there, and we was on Disco Dave. I remember hearing that first time on Disco Dave. And you know, Disco Dave, and that new Massive Journey. Keep it going, keep it. And I was like, whoa, we done made it, boy. Okay, we ain't made shit.
So at that time, that's how you was feeling though.
I was feeling that though. I was like, my first time hearing Disco Dave was like this equivalent to Disco Dave now. It's like probably like hearing your shit on a Khaled shit. Right. Like, so when we heard that, oh boy, we out of here. We out of here. Not so much.
And with that song, did y'all do any like local shows or open mics?
Yeah, we traveled all over the place. He had us on the road, and just
so whoever signed y'all actually kind of had the low plug.
Yeah. Nah, I mean,
most people only got them connections and all that. Yeah,
he was definitely doing his thing or whatever like that. You know, what I'm talking about, like he was giving back to the community. He was out here doing his thing. So like, yeah, he put the work in. He put a lot of energy into developing us as artists. You know what I'm saying? And another artist he was working with, believe it or not, was Case One. He was Case then. Well, Lost Tribe. I remember meeting Lost Tribe through him. He was working with Yes Indeed. Yes Indeed. What's the name? Society. So we flipping up. My bad.
Nah, you good, man. Nah, we get down. What you mean? Swapping them out.
Fresco bars.
And what we rocking anyway? Let them know.
Fresco bars.
What you mean? We own that. Yeah.
Fresco bar eyewear, baby.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We nosy over here. Yeah. So you feel me? So now, you feel me? You doing your thing, y'all. You feel me? You on Disco? You feel me? The mixtape, like.
Yes, sir.
What was next after that?
After that, then it was the disappointment of the music game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we recording, we did a hit, what we thought was a hit, and then that's as far as it went, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think a couple years later, Panama got arrested for robbing a bank.
Wow. And
Trini moved or something like that. So me and Drew actually used to keep in contact with each other because, like, he wasn't just the producer, executive producer, whatever like that, signed and gave me the first chance, but he was a mentor too, you feel me? Like he basically showed me the game. Like he used to show me how to make beats on an MP. He used to, you know what I'm saying, come over here, like, all right, I run over there, I'm thinking I'm about to jump into the studio, be like, let's sit down on that chessboard, young man. Okay then. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, so I go over there thinking I'm gonna record a song and we playing chess for like 5 hours or whatever like that. And he was just, he saw, and I respect him for this because he saw, like, you ain't got no man in your life. I'm gonna keep you off these streets because you got too much talent. Okay. Then. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? You ain't doing nothing, we ain't recording, but I'ma still find something for you to do. Yeah. Keep your mind focused or whatever like that.
All right, hold on a second. I need you.
What are you doing?
Why,
it's not live.
Yeah, but why, boy? There's more editing though.
I'm trying to keep it from the editing. I need you because you're this.
Shout out to Fresco Bar, man.
They're gonna see all that gangster shit. We get that.
It's like, nigga, I ain't editing shit. This live.
We gonna ride though.
This live?
No, we good. We good. Where you good?
Yeah, man. No, like, cause you're.
You want to see what's going on?
No. Your hair. It was.
Say no more. You already know. You're a pro. You know. Watch out. Just don't. You feel me?
I'm good.
Right, you good.
All right, I appreciate it.
Okay, then I thought I played.
I see that.
Who was that with?
And did he just say action?
Okay, then. What was that with?
Oh man, I lost my train of thought.
Oh, Oh.
We was saying, yeah, he was keeping me out the street, or said like,
Besides, playing. Not even y'all recording, y'all out there playing,
right.
chess and all that good stuff.
So at that time, you know what I'm saying, like some years go by. I'm in high school, and ran into the Iconz, well, the committee at the time, chapter, fence.
That was already the committee already?
No, we all this was formed in high school.
Well, so what school y'all went to though?
NMB, North Miami Beach. Okay, NMB Chargers, can't be beat. Yeah, Chargers, man.
So y'all had a class together. Let us know how y'all met.
They older than me or whatever like that. So I came out from Central, and go to like I said, my old girl was trying to keep me in law, so there was a law program there. So she put me in that school or whatever, and met these dudes, and they was all rapping. They was like the up north flavor, whatever like that. So that was kind of like what I was on, you know what I'm saying? Because I grew up listening to Kane and everything like that. So my homeboy, my bad, rest in peace Vic, man. Rest in peace Vic Moore. Like I gotta say that real quick. He just passed away on from COVID or whatever like that. I don't want to change the mood, but he has a very important situation with my music, whatever. So Vic was went to the same studio that they went to, you dig? So he introduced us, because he supposed to be in Norland, but he was always skipping to be at my school because we had better women at the time. So he'd be over there, and he introduced me to them because they all went to the same studio, and we all clicked up somehow, went to their studio, vibe, and that's how I met Gorilla Tech and Track 5-3. No, he wasn't in school, but he was the producer for them, for Chap and Fence. They used to be in a group called Private Property. Yeah, he been for a minute. He was a DJ at first, you know what I'm talking about? So they all grew up under the Dakari, which is a Jamaican dread dude who gave him a chance in the studio. So similar thing that was happening with me, with Drew, was happening with them, the committee with Dakari. So when we all clicked up or whatever like that, we just formed a crew called ASP, which was Advanced Style of Poetry. So we had dudes from our NMB, we had dudes from North Miami, had dudes from other schools. There was all one big clique, and we just get together and just.
How deep were y'all at that time?
maybe like 15 rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like at our school, it was like 6 of us, and then NMB there was like another 5 or 6. You know what I'm saying? And some other schools or whatever like that. But yeah, it was a good, and then the mall, 163rd Mall, was like the stomping ground. So everybody go there, and we just be rapping for days, just rapping for days and go home. You know what I'm saying? Or battle another crew.
Stop for a second. I need that out the way. I need these water bottles. The cups are good, but get these water bottles out the way.
Yeah, what's his name?
So we was battling the PLS and the other crew or whatever like that, and we just homing our skills or whatever. So by the time by the time they left high school, because they was older than me, by the time they left high school, they done got apartments together, and they just formed this little camp. All 5 of them, and formed a committee, and they was just making tracks and selling tracks to every label down here. So Trick was buying tracks, whatever other labels, Piccolo at the time.
What you mean by buying tracks?
But like they would sell tracks to they were producers, so they was their whole thing was making tracks and selling it. And
not just the beat or the full song?
The beat. So selling beats, and they was hustling beats and building their name. So that that's when if you listen to Get Fucked Up, you hear Committee 2000, baby.
I hear that.
Yeah, that was the whole squad. And the producer was actually Gorilla Tech or the drum majors, but there was that squad.
I think you hit drum majors.
Yeah, so that's how that came about. And I used to go over to their studio because we all grew up together, whatever like that. I went up to the studio and started like doing my thing over there and selling off tracks. We used to sell stuff overseas, so I had like nobody knew who I was, but I had like album after album after album popping off in Japan. I was a number one Ichiban in Japan, but it broke as hell in Miami. So, and then we just clicked together and gradually was like, they wanted to form a label, and that's how we came up with Iconz Music Group.
But how did it go from 15 to 10, 9, 7? Like, how did it start?
How did the members start dropping off? I mean, you know, like high school starts ending, people start going to college, people, you know, life hits. Life starts to happen. Like, you know, somebody get pregnant, you know what I'm saying? I don't rap no more, you know, like real life. Like a lot of people don't know, man, being a rapper ain't the most glamorous job in the world. Like, you know, you can go to law school or you go to medical school and you know, all right, if I start now, in 8 years, I'll be done and I'll be a doctor. Rap is, I start now, no telling, like a comedian, no telling, like a painter, no telling when I'ma actually take off. There ain't no prime date. So you putting a lot of faith in the fact that not only are you talented, but you're gonna have the right people around you at the right time, at the right moment for you to blow up. Because all of that has to happen before you to take off. Like, you could be the dopest rapper in the world, but if you ain't got the right people around you at the right moment and the right person hear you spit your shit, then you'll be rapping for years.
Yeah, facts.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that being said, like, it's understandable people just start falling off, and you know, call it hope, call it faith, but I stayed and we formed they formed the Iconz music group because I was just an artist on the thing, whatever. So like that.
A solo artist or a group artist?
I was a solo artist. Like, all right, so Iconz is all solo artists. It was the name of the label. So we was all solo artists. So when they decided they wanted to do Street Money, which was the name of the album, it was more so we'll make so much money producing if we showcase the artists that we know and the artists we know in Miami that we've done tracks for, and we doing albums in Japan. Why can't we do that in Miami?
Let's talk about that. What you mean albums in Japan?
Like, so we had distribution deals where we'd go in and they'd be like, all right, we need 15 songs. So we literally go in and just write songs, chop them up, mix them, master them, and then this is an album. This is Miami Bass Part 1. And send it off and sell it in Japan.
What they used to do, like remix it? Make it.
No, we just go in there, make an album, make the tracks, package it, do the artwork, and send it to Japan. They cut us our checks, and they be like, all right, we need, in 2 more months we need another one. How did
y'all get that plug?
That was something that they had. They got. I don't know. I never asked really. I was like, how much I get? All right, let's go. Write the album. Okay, all right, 3 more months. Y'all need another one. Let's go.
What they was doing? So was the Japan selling the music?
Yeah, they were
making y'all music. Yeah,
they would. Well, Japan is a big hip hop. You know, they love hip hop over there. Even if they didn't understand what we were saying, so we up there like, shake that ass, bitch, drop this, and they be like, and send it to Japan, and somebody in Japan was like, that's the shit. Okay, that's the shit. So, I mean,
were you shocked, or that was nothing to you at that time? Like, you was getting checks in Japan.
I wasn't shocked, but I didn't feel like I made it yet because I never heard it. Yeah. Once I did the work, passed it off, I never even heard the albums. You know what I'm saying? I just know that they were selling enough for them to keep asking us to make albums. Yeah. So, to me, I was like, it's all fine and dandy, but nobody in my crib, at the crib, know that I'm doing music. You know what I'm saying? Nobody or whatever like that. They know I'm dope, but nobody heard me. So from there, like, you know what I'm saying, we just kept working at the craft, and so like they wanted to do a compilation album. And
they wanted to do a compilation.
Like they wanted to do a compilation album, so
not for Japan.
No. This is for a national release. But you know, we was gonna just put it out and see what happened.
But my bad for cutting y'all. But how? Because it sounded like y'all was local, but it sounded like y'all was damn near 1 foot in. How y'all know y'all about to drop something nationally?
No, we was local. We just wanted to do the album and shop for a deal.
It's like y'all was in front of, but it seemed like y'all was in front of a lot of, you know, at that time, y'all.
Yeah, because it was, as a production house, we working for all these labels, we passing them tracks or whatever.
So y'all was getting plugged in.
Yeah, okay. well, they were getting plugged in because I was just the artist on the production side. I was Tech and Track 5-3 and whoever else was a producer at the time. They was working these deals and getting the production to labels. Like they already was getting stuff to Trick and Trina. They was already getting stuff to like Poison Clan. They was already getting stuff to like everybody local had a track from the committee or drum majors at the time. And so they knew if we can just get some music out there, we can probably, reach out and get a deal.
You're talking about your own music.
Yeah, put our own music
instead
out.
of just shopping out beats out all the time.
Correct.
You know who idea what that was too?
That was committee. Like, I mean, with Fence, it's 5 of them: Chap, Fence, Tech, Track, and Shay. So at the time, they put their brainchilds together and
had some big brains.
Yeah, and let's do it. We taking a chance. We selling tracks to everybody else. Let's take a chance on ourselves. We got some artists when we know people. So we started doing tracks or whatever like that. So we did the Street Money album. We had Piccolo. We had Suicide, a group called Suicide. We had Black Haze. We had Deuce Pop, I believe, is on the first album. It was just like nothing but the who's of hip hop that wasn't signed yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, so at the time, and out of Miami, Poison Clan, Trick, Trina, and I think that's all that, and Luke obviously, and Verb. They was doing tracks for Verb too. Those was signed. So we was doing all these tracks or whatever. And I remember we went to Kappa and he doing the streak team. I was part of the streak team too. Like, you had to get it how you get it. So we going out there and we putting out flyers, putting out posters.
At that time, how much artists is in the group?
At the time, it was only 2. Two. Assigned to Iconz, it was me and Chap. Luke Duke wasn't signed yet. Superstar wasn't signed yet. Tony Mancino was with us, but he wasn't signed. He had his own little situation. I believe it was called Felon Entertainment. Shout out to Tony Mancino. Screwface Bulldog wasn't signed yet. PM wasn't signed yet. So the only ones that was actually physically signed was me and Chap. And I was more like Chap's hype man at the time because, Chap is, if you ever see him, if you ever watch the video, he's tall, he's like 6'7", light skinned, grilled up, long hair. So he stood out. He was a star. So he was getting shows before we even.
With the braids though.
Yeah, he was the one with the braids.
Did you have braids too?
I had braids. We all had braids.
Yeah. You had braids.
Yeah. So, Chap was doing his thing, and we was booking shows with just Chap alone. So that was another thing. We could find a big way to have everybody come out and Chap be the centerpiece. I was playing my position. I was a hype man, so you know what I'm saying, helping him out because you as a team member you got to do what's best for the team. Right. And then the rest of the album was just everybody else. And we went to Kappa Luau. We passing the little snippets out. People was fucking with it, whatever like that.
Get Crunked Up was not done yet.
Get Crunked Up was not even an idea yet.
They filling all the other stuff.
They was filling the other stuff, but DJ Griot had a conversation with them. DJ Griot. And Griot said like,
Griot anyway?
Griot in Tampa, man. He doing his thing in Tampa, man. Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah. So Griot was like, y'all, this is good. This is good, but y'all ain't got no hit. And he's like, what are you talking about? We got all these records. He's like, y'all ain't got no hit. Y'all ain't got no club records. Y'all got street records. We had street records for days. Okay. No club record. So he said, I need something around this tempo, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. So we in Kappa Luau. We performing with Trick. We opened up for Trick. And
what song y'all had at that time?
We had the whole album, other than Get Fucked Up. We had a lot of street shit, like, you know what I'm saying, and I'm watching Trick, Trick, one of my top 5, by the way, and I'm watching Trick and Case, and me and Case, I was supposed to do a record with Case. This is, like I said, I met Case on several occasions before that, so just watching Case and his energy, like Case get on there and he'd be like, do that shit. And he was, I was like, damn, that nigga raw. And I had a song that I wanted to sell him, well, not sell him, but I wanted him to do. And it was, do you know what in his bed, in his bed, get money up in his bitch. And I had to mimic how he would do it in my head to sell it to him. Yeah. So I had that in my head, and I was like, dog, Case, I got one for us to finally sit down and write. And then when they was telling we need a record for us, we don't got no single. Wow. So I was like, all right. So we vibing, smoking, going all the way back from Tallahassee straight to Miami. That was a 9-hour drive or whatever like that. I hear the beat. Get out the car, hear the beat. Walk right in.
How the beat got played. We can't skip through this now. This legendary shit now.
I walked into the studio and I believe Tech was playing the beat, and all you heard was doom doom doom, doom doom doom, doom doom doom, and he's like, "You got something for this?" And now I got the song that I got for Case, but I didn't want to. I'm like, I already told Case I got something for it, so I was like, I got an idea for it, and he's like, so, and I like get behind there. Now, this is my first time, like, literally not writing down nothing, just like trying to freestyle it. And I was like, if you smoke weed now, and this bitch and you all wanna climb, got a dream that you can't put down, wanna fight when the shit got down, get fucked up. And that was it. They was like, so that was it. That was it. And then
cheers right now.
Yeah,
that thing.
he put the that flange effect on it. He's like, I'm gonna try something. He's like, I did that. And he put that flange on it. Said, and then I did built it up a little bit. But everybody came in and get fucked up, doing deep voices and shit like that. So we sitting there with the hook. We sitting there with the hook, and Chapter laid his verse, killed it. Laid his verse, killed it. Tony Mancino came in, did his verse. So he's like, need something else on it, though.
That one's verse used to be long.
Need something else on it. We need a girl on it. So they was auditioning girls, and and they already knew
for the song or for the team.
Both for the song, really. But then but like if you gonna blow up the girl on the song, you might as well keep her on the team.
Okay, then.
So they were looking for a girl, and they already knew I was kind of nice with the pen or whatever like that. So me and Chop chopped up the verse. So I was like, get fucked up, stay fucked up, roll to the club in the navigator truck, buy out the bar like I don't give a fuck. Who you know out there, stay Fendi, dub pluses. And then he added his little words or whatever like that. And by the end of the we had a verse.
For the girl already.
For the girl. So we just needed the girl to come in.
Damn, she ain't had the right name.
Yeah. So we, Superstar, I think Shay brought Superstar to the table. I don't remember how it worked, but she came in, she laid the verse, she put that power on it, she had that look. She had that, that island vibe to her, whatever like that. She laid the hook verse, and it was a rap. They mixed the record, but they was still like, something missing. I don't know what to do. Like, what we gonna do? I don't know what to do. I was like, man, give me this goddamn record. I took the record out the studio.
Okay, then. I
took, burnt my CD, took the record out the studio, called Griot. I was like, like these niggas was kidnapping. Hey man, it's free, man. I'm where you at? Yeah. I'm at Chris Styles. He at Chris Styles. All right, so I drive all the way to the beach, get inside, give him the CD. You know what I'm saying? He listened to the record. He looked at me. He's like, this is watch what I do. Him and God rest the dead, Big Will. Big Will was a very, very important person in breaking this record. Griot was like, I know shit. Doom, doom, doom. Stopped it. Started playing some else shit. To this day, I have never seen anybody break a record like this. Like, let's say if he started at 2:00, he didn't actually play the song till like maybe 3:00, but you don't heard the doom, 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 bring another record in. All night long, new shit, doom, 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 bring it in. Yeah. So by the time he finally got to 3:00, 3:30, them pills done kicked in, that liquor done kicked in, that smoke done kicked in, doom, 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 doom. The crowd went stupid. Like they going wild, drinking, and then the word, get fucked up. If you don't know nothing else, get fucked up. That's all you had to hear. We got permission now. We got permission to get fucked up. So they like, he played the record, bring it back, play the record, Big Will, big, real big, Big Will, right? Big husky dude, dreads and everything like that. He get in the middle of the stage, take his shirt off. Y'all don't understand. Doom, doom, doom. He getting vibe. The bartenders jump on the stage. The bar backs, the bartenders, everybody's on not on the stage, on the bar, fucked up, dancing or like that. By the next week, we had a paid show at Chris Styles. By the next week, we had a paid show. Just because they played that song for 30 minutes, and 30 minutes straight. They had already been playing it up and down to that point, and then by the time they closed the club, like I think it was like 4:00, They closing the club. Everybody got to clear it. But before y'all go, doom, 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 people coming back into the club just to get their last final dance on before they went home. And we had a page show that I guess the promoter, who song that is, and we had a page show the next week.
But you gotta let me know though, cause the Tippie Toe we nosy though, bro. Cause you gotta understand, cause the city already had they thrones. They so-called thrones and all that. Everybody that was running the city. So how they was taking they lighting on, y'all just came out of nowhere.
It was, it
was not no regular hit though.
Nah,
it was a hit.
It was gone. It was
a hit.
We couldn't catch it. And a lot of people thought we was from out of town. I think I heard people say, "Oh, yeah, they from ATL or whatever like that."
Or they didn't even thought y'all from the crib.
They didn't think
it was too much. Why was that confusion?
I mean, because we didn't. It was an up-tempo. Excuse me. It was an up-tempo song.
It ain't sound like no Dade County song.
It didn't. I guess it didn't sound like no Dade County, even though it had like all the elements. But it's just the groove of it, and just like how Chap was rapping on it. You know what I'm saying? And it just, there was no face to the song. You just heard the song, you knew it was hot, but you didn't really know who sang it. And
what about when the video came out?
When the video came out, it was a wrap. Like, that was it.
How long was from when the song came out? How long until after till the video came out?
I want to say a year.
A year?
No, not probably not. Like, because the record took off so fast.
Quick.
I would say maybe, from the time we dropped the single, then they worked out the deal with Slip and Slide with was it Electra? With Slip and Slide and Electra or whatever like that. We had a deal within.
How you felt about how you felt about that deal though? When everything was happening so fast, you ain't even know what the hell was going on.
I didn't. I just trust that they was doing what they was supposed to do because I was just an artist. Mm-hmm. Like, that's how my mentality was. Is like, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting out here to live my dream. Like, this is what I've been telling my people. This is I'm meant for this, and now I got not only the biggest song in Miami, I got the biggest song in the country.
Yeah, it was ain't just mad. That song took off.
I got the biggest song in the country. I got a record that got added more times than Ja Rule and Jay-Z together. We had the number one song in the country. So like, it was validation for all that I was saying, all the stuff, the trials and tribulation or whatever like that. So I wasn't concerned about the deal. I just had a chance to get out there and be a rapper. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, okay. And so now, like the song going, number one and doing all this stuff, like, who the song was for at that time? Was it everybody or like? The
song was for we from Miami, so if you know anything about Miami, we a party town. I mean, we do all other shit. You know what I'm saying? We work, the street life or whatever like that. But when you think about Miami, you think about fast life, fast cars, fast women, hitting the club, getting down and enjoying yourself, and that's it. And so that song was a tribute to what we grew up watching, you know what I'm saying, and believing in. And so it was for everybody from the crib, all walks of life, whether you black, whether you white, whether you Spanish, Jamaican, Haitian, whatever, it was for them. You know what I'm saying? If anybody, any island could enjoy that song. That doom, doom, doom sounds like a reggae bass line. Doom, doom, doom sounds like a rock bass line. You know what I'm saying? It was like for everybody, and everybody appreciated it. You know what I'm saying? And then it was for the people that enjoyed the nightlife, that like to smoke their little weed, toot their little toot. You know what I'm talking about? Like, get drunk and go home and do whatever they was doing, pop their pills or whatever.
So was it like a single deal or an album deal? Like what?
No, we got an album deal. We did that because we had the album. The last record was the Get Fucked Up. Well, not after that. I had the follow up record, which was Ain't Going Home Tonight. But Get Fucked Up was the last record added to that album. The album was done, so we got a P&D deal to press the whole album out, and we pressed the album out. I think it did pretty good the first week, whatever like that. But at the time, we weren't. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, the whole album was everybody else. The only single, which was the actual artist that signed the Iconz, was to Get Fucked Up in the We Ain't Going Home Tonight. So it was a hard sell. You know what I'm saying? You come in there, I'm expecting to hear Tippie Toe through the whole album, and I done heard I done heard Fresh and somebody else through the whole album. You get what I'm saying? So
that was kind of tough right there.
It was a tough sell. Like, you know what I'm saying? We trying to, you hear this all, you know, this is what made you buy the album, but when you listen to the album, wasn't that. So
why maybe I ain't switch it up where like the main people that was hearing on that single?
Because in the original reason we put the album out was to showcase Miami. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was the intentions, to showcase Miami. So there was no paperwork on Piccolo. There was no paperwork on Suicide. There was all the other people that was on the album. I can't think, Black Haze, all the other people. But the purpose of dropping that album was to celebrate Miami and to showcase what Miami is possibly capable of doing if we get the chance. You know what I'm saying? Lyrically, you know what I'm saying? Style-wise, everything. And it did that. Like, you know, like it brought more people to our town. It opened the doors, you know, Get Fucked Up opened the doors for Trick to be played in Europe. You know what I'm saying? Because we was getting played with Tim Westwood in England and in all these towns or whatever like that out of seas.
And I mean, like you said, around the time it was heavy pill. Like with that song, where you end up living that life too on the you know the drug vibe at that time.
I smoke weed. Listen, I smoke weed. I drink. I smoke weed. I drink. Like that's it. That's all I did. And I'm talking about like, and then people like, well, you said this. I'm like, nah, well, you ain't listening to the lyrics, because you know what I'm saying. Like for example, they'll be like, Ecstasy is a song about. No, Ecstasy is not a song about popping pills. Ecstasy is a song about a girl. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you just assume because you hear Ecstasy and you know, like Ecstasy. All right, cool. That's what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? But like, I smoke weed. I've always, you know, I smoke weed since young. And I drank, you know, and I was used to be really bad at drinking, but I don't slow it down. I don't really drink too tough like that. But yeah. Now I can't speak for everybody. I can't speak for everybody in the group, but I smoke weed and I drank. That was it.
Okay then. So why you feel like with a big hit like that, why the Iconz, and you feel me? Why y'all ain't last? You feel me? Back in that booth and drop some more hits, or try to drop some more hits.
The first album was, like I said, that was that hard sell. So we did come up with a second album, which was You're Looking at 'Em. We had the We Thuggin' with Trick on it. That was the first single. And I really don't know what it was, you know, you hear the energy and Get Fucked Up. How do you follow that? You know, we couldn't follow that. Like, now if Get Fucked Up was like our second or third or fourth hit, then Iconz would have kept going. But Get Fucked Up's the first record. How do you follow that shit up? And we couldn't follow it up. We Thuggin' didn't do what it was supposed to do, you know, and had Trick on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, and we feel like the second album was better than the first album, but you know, the first album had Get Fucked Up on it. So after that, then, you know, the Iconz got more into making movies. So they started working on the Bloodline movie.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That was part of that Bloodline right there.
Yeah, they wrote, directed, produced, or whatever like that.
Oh, that's
so
right,
yeah, so they worked on the Bloodline album, and that by that time they had signed Southern Boy. So Southern Boy was in the movie, and the other artists, Luke Duke, Bulldog, Star, all of them just was like, you know what, I'm gone. I don't need to be in Iconz no more. And they all had their fallouts, and you know, Iconz did, you know, let them go out of their contracts or whatever like that. So I had a health scare.
What do you mean by that?
Like they got tested, and they thought I had cancer. So I stopped. I was like, my mind was on getting better health wise. Come to find out, it was no I don't know if it's not benign. It wasn't with no cancer or whatever like that. So by that time, they was full fledged into making films because they didn't really have no artists recording. So I'm focusing on the street life now. I'm back in the game. You know what I'm saying? And I had opened up my own escort service or whatever, and I'm whamming, I'm getting bread, like, so what am I rapping for? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I spent years doing that. But once again, when you go to sleep and you wake up and all you think about is something, then that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I was getting money, you know, doing whatever I was doing, but my heart was still into the music. So I just found myself slowly getting back in, you know what I'm saying? I had my notoriety, like, you know, I walk into a club, be like, yo, Iconz in the building, whatever like that. And I had bumped into Hunger. Well, I didn't bump into him. We already knew each other because we grew up together, like, you know what I'm saying? He stayed in the next building over. But I remember he pulled up to me. It was a couple things that kind of like really brought me back into the music. He played he had this tape he gave me, and I listened to it, and I was like, why is nobody doing this shit? Like, it's like he was on that street shit, but like he was like detailed like Jeezy and Ross, but this is like a little bit before they was really popping. You know what I'm saying? So I hit him up. I'm like, yo, this shit, you got something, you know. He's like, you're a little rough around the edges, but you got something. And he, you know, like I said, I had already known him, so we kept in touch, and like anything I was involved with, I brought him in with me or whatever like that. If I try to book a show, I was like, let's, you know, slide with me or whatever like that. And Case, I think not Case, Money Mark was Money Mark was leaving his situation with Slip and Slide, and CO and Case in the situation. So I was like, you know what, I want to do a super group. I want to do a super group. Like, we got all these artists, you know what I'm saying? You got so many records off a Trick album, Case, and you got so many records off a Trick album, and I got one record, but it's the biggest record. So like, if we book something, we could really do a show and still get bread or whatever like that. And we did wind up doing a mixtape, and we called ourselves, I believe we called ourselves Rat Pack first. Like the new Rat Pack, like but then I think somebody else had Rat Pack. So then I was like, Billionaires Boy Club. I remember watching this movie about these white boys that was getting bread, but you know, they wind up keep being killers. And I was like, Billionaires Boy Club, and we all was like, yeah, that shit high right there. And then fucking Pharrell came out with a clothing line called Billionaires Boys Club. So like, we was cursed. It was fucked up, but you know, I think we did one show all together in Atlanta, and the tour bus that we took broke down, and we had one of them old heads like, I got you, boy. I'm seeming like y'all carbureted. Yeah, so we stuck in Atlanta waiting. I think we worked like two days, and shout out to Money Mark. I probably still owe you bread. He covered the expenses to get back down to Miami. Yeah, but after that, just hitting them open mics and talking to Hunger, and that's when I was like, yo, what did you think about Grime Mode? And he's like, that's something right there. So then we just now needed new members. You know what I'm saying? So it was just me and Hunger at the time, and he had some homeboys from Lauderdale or Hollywood or Jay, I can't remember their names, but he know them. He had some homeboys, so they came along. A producer that was at one of my trap spots, he stayed next door, and he knew who I was, and because he was like, I was in your video, nigga. I'm like, all right. He's like, what you doing now? He's like, I do music. So Hunger, and then this dude right here, Figgy McKnight, was the reason why I got back into music the way I got back into music. Figgy McKnight gave me this one track. I See You Hating, I believe it is, which actually wound up being on the album Me and Southern Boy. He gave me this track, and it's like do 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 do, and I just got in the studio and just freestyled the whole thing, and that shit took off. Southern Boy jumped on it, and they threw it on they threw it on the Bloodline soundtrack. And I was like, yeah, this official. I'm back. So we looking for artists. Right? And Larry Dog, who did some skits on Iconz, he's always telling me, come through one of my open mic. So I came to one of his open mics, and he had this loud, arrogant dude, raspy voice, just running like, yeah, like, who is this nigga, right? And then he did this record called Goddamn, and I was like, he got something about him. His energy is like, he was like a more guttered, less refined Ludacris to me. His wordplay is just like his voice. I got some. I remember going back to Iconz and telling Vince, yo, come to the open mic with me. So he came to open mic because he always did the song. He was like, it was him. So I came with Finch to and he's like, yeah, buddy got something. All right, but I just needed somebody to co-sign what I was saying. So I approached him or whatever like that, or he approached me, or I approached him probably like, and told him what we doing, and he knew who I was. Everybody, I had, like I said, I had a little notoriety about me. He knew who I was, and we wind up clicking, you know what I'm saying, and found out he lived all the way down south, and he was always kind of like, I think, working with another group called Bottom Boys at the time. So I'm like, it ain't gonna fuck that up. Y'all could still do that thing. I'm trying to create like a Wu-Tang. Like, I want different sounds. I want sounds from down south. I want Hollywood. I want Fort Lauderdale. I want Miami, North Miami. I want all of that and mix that shit up in a gumbo, and we just gonna do it and see what it sound like. So fast forward, I done bought it in studio, and we just getting into the studio. Figgy was banging out tracks, and Hunger was a beast. Like, he just stayed in the studio. So like, if you listen to the first mixtape, you're gonna hear Hunger all on it. Like, and he was doing that shit that I caught my attention, that street shit, the wordplay, whatever like that. So I get in there and match some of the shit he was doing. Jay Knock would get in there and strike with. So we just had a little bit of everything. Chaos, when he could get up, would come in and lay his vocals, and we pressed up the mixtape, and then but it wasn't just about the music. My thing is, I had kind of studied what 50 Cent did. 50 Cent was like, I'm all over the place. You're going to see Gene Unit this, you're going to see flyers, you're going to see... I knew about 50 Cent before I even heard his music.
Okay, then.
Because you see all his posters, you see all this and that. I said, I want the same effect. So, what I'm saying, I'm putting in out flyers, CDs, everything. Like, the money was blown to promote, to give awareness. We didn't have no records yet, but you knew Grime Mode. So you'd be, I heard Grime Mode before. And plus it was a catchphrase, because, you hear Grime Mode, everybody be like, I'm in Grime Mode. You know what I'm saying? So you'd be like, yeah, I heard Grime Mode. Why have I heard that? But you heard it because you probably said it to your homeboy. Yeah. Not talking about. So like, doing all of that, we build the name. We started hitting the open mics. You know what I'm saying? And me stepping out to open mic was a big thing, because I still had that shine from Iconz. So they're like, yeah, the boy, you were, gold record, this, that. So we started blowing up. Every time we went to an open mic, we killed it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever record we did, we killed it. And before we got to, I'm sorry, we still didn't have a record. We had dropped the first single, I think was Oh No. Shot a video for it with featuring Red Rat. Crazy record. Crazy video. I got girls and everything in there, like Antoine, who actually shot the Bloodline movie, is the one who directed it. And it's a crazy video. And then after that, we had the Yayo record. More street appeal, more, like that. So we testing. We had.
So how they go from Wu-Tang to, my bad for cutting you, from Wu-Tang they start getting cutting?
Almost. I mean, it's the same story. And anytime when you got a whole bunch of MCs, people gonna bang. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like any sports team. You know what I'm saying? People gonna be like, yo, get me out of this. I don't want to be in this team no more. Or like that. Or it's the same thing. Like, life happens, shit happen. You know what I'm saying? People get locked up. People like, you know what I'm saying? This ain't worth it. I might get a job at the city. You know what I'm saying? Like things happen. So it just so slowly started narrowing down till it was just me, Hunger, and Chaos, and that was it. And it was around the time, because it wasn't like that for the mixtape, because everybody was on the mixtape, and then we did, like, if you go on YouTube, you'll find videos of all of us together. Like, I think there's a Yayo performance where you see everybody performing, and then I think we performed another record that everybody did or whatever. But it was just what happens in groups, you got to think about it. We were individual solo artists that were coming together to put out a group compilation, but we're still solo artists And at the end of the day, I become before you. And it's always going to be like that. So, you know, and it was no hard feeling. I never put no paperwork on nobody. You know what I'm saying? I was already weary of paperwork with my situation. So I wasn't going to straight up put nobody on paperwork. I just like, y'all boys come here. I'm gonna make sure y'all got a place to record. We're going to record some records, and I'm going to use my expertise and get it to as far as we can get it to, and see what happened from there. So, it dwindled down to like us three. And it's just so funny that's around the time that stuff started really popping off. Like,
what you mean by that?
Like, well, you know, when it's down to three, it makes the songs go quicker. So we started recording songs that were just us three. Mm-hmm. Like, so we had Oh No was already recorded, because Oh No was actually the first Grime record we ever recorded, because it was the last Iconz record I recorded. Excuse me. And then we did all the mixtapes, but I think when we did the mixtape, Yayo, we had started dwindling down to Yayo. So Yayo was like a first official Grime mode, the new Grime mode record. Mm-hmm. And then it was just the way it came about. It was just such a lively song, and then the way it got flipped or whatever like that, people were gravitating towards it. And then it was another record that showed what Miami was about. You know what I'm saying? So we had the Yayo record, and then we just in the studio just keep trying to find. Now that we got these are the parts. Let's see how we can assemble them and come up with some big records from there and move forward.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, so now y'all dropping them things. So how what came first? Was it I'm So High? Was it Ecstasy? What came first?
I'm So High came. I'm So High came first. Yayo was still moving, and I just felt like.
Well, you shot though that how, you know, when y'all formed this group, and how the buzz started coming back up again.
That the buzz started
like because you just start dropping hits and start, you know, because not too much.
No, we were slowly. I mean, it was a slow build. It's not like when
no,
people.
I know it's not like I get fucked up. But,
no.
But for you, you know, like you done had a chance to drop a big hit. Now you with another group, and y'all, you can see you about to turn it. You feel me?
Yeah, it was like, that was the good thing about it, because of my past. I could tell people, like, you know, I could talk to Hunger and be like, listen, when this is starting to move, because this is, and I'm getting them ready. I'm like, yo, when we finally get that record, we can't catch up. We got to be ready. We got to be on point. Because once that record hit, you don't want to spend your time trying to catch that record now, because if it's gone, it's gone. You can't catch it. And you got to stand and be in front of it.
And to the new young artists, what does that mean right there? You got to be
like
ready.
you got to be record. Like if a record drop, you gotta almost be programmed to say, damn, this record is gonna be a hit. I already know it. I gotta have the paperwork right, the publishing right. I gotta have it registered. I gotta do everything behind the scenes, because you don't want to be trying to catch up with it and now you're losing money on it. Mm-hmm. Or, you know what I'm saying, or you can't validate that it done played on radio for like 6 months, but you ain't did your paperwork. So now you can't say, hey, look, it's not registered. I don't know how many times it's been playing. Mm-hmm. You could have been got a deal, or you could have been, you know what I'm saying, tracked it, or you could be like, oh shit, it's playing in Texas 30 times a week, man. We need to start targeting in Texas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to get ahead of the game and take the right people to, you know, because sometimes when you're just being an artist, it's hard to do that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You want to focus. I don't know nothing about that. I just want to rap. But then you got to put the people around you that do know something about it, or willing to find somebody that can do something about it. So I had the past and I knew it happened. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm living proof twice, because I was around when Nookie took off. You know what I'm saying? So I'm living proof that at any given time, the right record's gone. You catapulted. So with that being said, like when the I'm So High. Well, first of all, the funny thing about this record is I'm So High was probably like 10 minutes away from being a YD song.
And what you mean by that?
So I'm in the studio with Vado from Piccolo, mm-hmm. and we working on his artist, and so he was playing me some tracks or whatever like that, and I'm getting I'm lit. He had that shit that. Yeah, and that time like he had that shit direct. I don't know if he was smoking Snoop Dogg. That shit was so potent. That shit was potent. And I just cutting records for that's what I was doing. It's just like I just love being in the studio, and so he told me come through, cut some records for YD. So I had this beat skeleton that I did. And like once we tracked all of that, I said, I got a beat, so tell me what you think of this. And I played the beat, and he was like, yeah, it's vibing. And I was like, let me try something on it. So I get in the studio, and I'm so high, and just like freestyled again. So if you hear like everything you hear, have you ever been in the and get your sway on, all of that is freestyle from the beginning to the end. And thank you, sir. He said, nah, that ain't YD. That ain't YD style. Okay. That ain't YD. No problem. You ain't got to tell me twice, boy. Yeah. So I'm sitting on this. And I was like, I've never been the person that was comfortable with my production. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I learned everything I learned from track, and I learned from track, Drunk Drew, and Tech. So I reached out to Tech. I was like, Tech, man, I got this shit. It's a vibe, but I feel like you could do something, touch it up, man. Do whatever, you put your little hot sauce on it. So I met up with Tech. He was with Ball Greasy. I think they just signed Ball Greasy to Iconz. And I gave him the track or whatever like that, and he listened to it. And I see Bob Greasy was like, yeah, you got something. I got something like that too. I didn't know what he was talking about, but he was talking about Sean at the time. So he's like, I got something like that too. And I gave Tech the record, the whole session or whatever, and cleared it, and we went back to pushing the yayo. We still pushing it, but now I'm heavy into it. I'm like, yo, here, how much you need? I need this record played or whatever like that. But in my mind, I'm like, I got something with this record. So I started promoting these lesbian nights. I started promoting these lesbian nights because I was trying to get the women to come out and vibe or whatever. I was the worst promoter though. Like if you don't know that life, stay out of it. I hired a lesbian DJ. I hired Showtime. That shit was a flippy flop every time I did them. So that's one of that boy. I commend y'all promoters, man, because that shit is a hard thing to do, man. I flipped every time I try to promote something, I flopped. So yeah, I give y'all all the most. So yeah, so it was another dead night that I promoted, and Showtime was there, and I was like, I gave him the reference of me, the little rough with the beat and the hook and the verse, and I would stand in the middle of the club, nobody else is there, they cleaning, they clean, and I was just like, just play that shit until I tell you to stop, and he play it back and forth. So like Showtime was the first person to ever play the record, and
you said it was not even done yet.
It wasn't even done. It was just the beat skeleton. Tech hadn't done his shit on it. And I'm sitting there and I'm vibing. I'm like, this is it. This is something. We got something, whatever like that. So now by the time Tech finally, 3 months later, 3 months I had to wait. You know what I'm saying? 3 months I had to wait, but he finally gave me the thing, and I was like, yeah. And I took that. I forgot where I took that at. Oh, I gave it to Yo-Yo because DJ Yo-Yo, 88.7. I had my studio, I had let them use it so they could run the music or whatever like that. So I gave the record to Yo-Yo, and Yo-Yo would sit there and have the record, like you know how the underground stations are, they closed down and they just shut off, but he wouldn't shut off. He just had that song on loop. So all night long, no matter what time you tune in, all you would hear was "And I'm so high." He played that all night long. All night long until he come back in or until somebody wake up and start playing some new music. That's all you hear all night long. And it was gone. From that point, we knew it was gone. It was a wrap. Then Chaos came in and just killed it with the verse or whatever like that. And then I was like, yeah, it needs something else. So that's when you hear the. I remember we went down south somewhere and they was all doing this dance. And he's like, that's the South Dade Jook. I was like, all right, you know, I knew about juking, but I knew from juking about in Tampa when they, you know, so I was like, oh, okay, all right, real bad. And I'm vibing in the studio, getting a bigger, better mix on it. And I was like, you know what? There's an old song, that beat, funky little beat. So I started playing it. So then I was like, yeah, but he's like that. Let's give them. He would, you know, Chaos did say, let's give them something to dance to. Let's give them something catered to this song. So I was like, that juk. Can you South Day juk. And then I played the shit underneath it or whatever like that, and that was it. That was a rap. Yeah, and then that was another record that was gone, but it was a slow. It wasn't like Get Fucked Up was instantaneously, like soon as you heard it, it was gone. This one had like,
how you like with that?
Yeah, this one was like, some people was like, this ain't Yayo. Like, nah, it ain't Yayo. I'll try it. Like DJ Nasty didn't want to play it. Because he was big on the Yayo record. He's like, nah, Yayo, y'all single, man. This right here, I don't know about this. Yayo, y'all single. So there was a couple of DJs that just believed in that record. DJ Next Man, who was at Coco's, that was our spot. And he used to kill a song, Showtime, Yo-Yo, and Sam Sneak. It was like this DJs, and then they started, like, they was the Tastemason, and they was locked into these strip clubs, and when they started playing the record, you know, people come in and then started mixing in with the Shone record, you know what I'm saying, and then the Piccolo record, and then, so now you had a set. So when you heard Shone, you're gonna hear the Ghetto Style, you're gonna hear the Piccolo, and then right after that, you're gonna hear the I'm So High. And that was it. It was gone. They already had some brothers to travel with. And that's why them three big records was killing it in 07, 08.
And let's know about that. I'm So High, though. What's going on with the labels calling?
The labels weren't calling immediately.
I'm talking about when it took off.
When it took off, I like it. Yeah, it was crazy because it started playing, like, this record was #1 on Urban, #1 on Rhythmic. Like Power 96 was playing it like 80 something times, some weird crazy number. 99 Jams was playing it like 60 something times a week. So we set up excuse me, our management at the time set up a meet to go to the labels. You know, we were supposed to go up there and see one label, but when they found out we was up there, you know, everybody set up. We supposed to meet up with Jay-Z and everything like that. Like it was, yeah. Not Rockefeller. He was with Def Jam at the time, but you know, that was the selling point. Yeah, y'all could be with Jay-Z. Like that was the selling point. But they were trying to understand why nobody up there knew about this record, and it's #1 on both stations in a prime market. So that's why, you know, they just like, while we was up there, you know, the management started making some calls, and we had several labels setting up to see us. And then it was just like, not really a bidding war, but we just had to find a home that we felt comfortable enough to drop this album and make our vision more of a national sound.
So for people who don't know, who did y'all end up going with?
Universal Republic. Yeah.
And why did why y'all fell out?
Cause they were dressed in a pretty dress, and they promised us sex, and they bamboozled us.
Oh man.
Man, we should have went. I mean, we should have did a single deal, honestly, but we did an album. We did an album deal on the guys that we're gonna do 2 albums. So we had a 2 album guaranteed deal, supposedly. So it was like a no-brainer, guaranteed, you know what I'm saying? But nothing in this world is guaranteed. And you know what I'm saying? And then truth be told, is like, this game is funny, but it, you know, it's weird, it's beautiful, but it's just like, you gotta know what they doing, and sometimes you don't know what they doing until after you learned your lesson. So it was just like, to me, it was more like a quick flip. They wanted the I'm So High record, so we're gonna tell them whatever we gotta tell them to get the I'm So High record, so that we can make money off this album, right? Because, you know what I'm saying, even if we just make our money back, you know, we still get notoriety because people are gonna be talking about our label, whatever. So I think it was more than that than anything.
So when you said you should sound like a single, did that was like after, or that was something? Like
yeah, I mean after you when you growing up and you thinking like, you don't think like that. You think, damn man, everybody signing albums. We want an album. We want to drop an album like that. It just makes sense to you, and you know, and that's what we thought was the right thing to do, was to do these 2 album deals. Come on, man. We ain't come from nothing, and we gonna do 2 albums, and we the hottest shit, and we gonna definitely, and you know, if they loved us in Miami and Broward and West Palm Beach and the whole Florida loved us the way they did, imagine what the whole world gonna think when they finally hear this or whatever like that. We was feeling ourselves, and you know what I'm saying, and some shit happened. And we were no longer feeling ourselves, and the label wasn't feeling us, and that's what it was.
You know, Tippie Toe knows it now. For your, what you mean by some shit happened now?
So Iconz, the label that I was with Get Fucked Up, had basically sent a cease and desist letter to Universal Republic saying that I was still signed to them.
Oh,
yeah, which I wasn't. But the thing is, it's almost like when a girl say you raped me.
Yeah. Or they don't even need no evidence.
Yeah, they lock you up, and then you either settle out of court or you take it to court and you show me proof that. So it's like there was no proof needed. It was just he signed to you. Oh, let's slow down. Let's slow down. Let's slow down and let's see what we talking about and what it is. But it was more or less it was more or less personal than business. Couldn't have been business because, you know, Tech, who co-produced the track, was going to benefit from anything that happened. He was signed to Iconz Music Group, so it's just bad business on all parts. And to be honest, I won't even say that prevented us from continuing with Universal, because they still were like, all right, well let's put out the Ecstasy record, but management's like, no, because y'all stopped on I'm So High. Y'all ain't even, you know, we were supposed to go for ads on the rhythmic stations for I'm So High, and they pulled the plug. They stopped. They were supposed to add it to BET rotation and TV rotation. They pulled the plug. They stopped. So now you saying the reason you did that is because you were scared you're going to get sued, but then you turn around and say, let's put out Ecstasy.
Oh my, wow.
So then, like, that don't make no sense. So you're not scared about the situation, or you done made your money and you want to drop the, and so like we was like, nah, we just want to release. We'll take the release.
Damn.
So, you know, we got released, and then I think we were trying to get another deal through Ecstasy with another situation, and after that we started doing it, going back to the independent route and going back on tour and doing shows, and we had I'm So High, we got Ecstasy, and we was just creating new records from there.
Dog, like I you know, I interviewed like Hunger. You know, he was cool with the situation, but you know, like chaos, like you say, he was kind of upset, like more like, oh, you feel like not, but like you say, you know, people be signed, so it's not really like your fault. You feel me?
Yeah. No, well, I mean, it is what it is. I can't speak on chaos and everything like that. I just know, like, I mean, this whole situation could have went away, because you know, we were sitting and we're talking, we were negotiating before they put the cease and desist letter out. But see, what they wanted me to give away, I couldn't do, and you know what I'm saying, and that was the hard part. Like, so basically, Iconz was like, look, we ain't gonna do the suit, we ain't gonna send the letter. We just want a solo record from you. We want a solo album from you.
A solo album. Right.
And I'm like, no, Iconz, I mean, Grime mode is the move right now. You know what I'm saying? These dudes have been sitting with me. We got a deal. We're about to do this whole situation. I'm not putting out a solo album.
Oh, they want a whole solo album. That's crazy.
Because they felt like, one, we went to high school together.
Oh, you know, okay,
yeah. So they felt like, you know what I'm saying, if anything, I should have been doing the deal with them or whatever. And And it's just like my thinking is, look, it's bigger than this. Grind mode is my priority. I'm not doing any. I'm not, and they didn't give a, no offense, but they didn't care about the other two. Mm-hmm. It's like they viewed me as, this is the one we want anyway. So fuck grind mode. Mm-hmm. We putting out you, and I'm like, that's not gonna happen. And I was like, listen, we sat back and forth. I'm like, look, I can do this. Let's do a Gorilla Tech album, and I'll get Grime mode on it, or I'll do some records on it, or whatever like that, or guarantee you this, and let's do that. But I am not doing a solo album, mm-hmm. and I'm definitely not doing a solo album before Grime mode drops. We couldn't agree with the whole situation, because at the bottom line was, they felt like if they can get a whole album on me, there's money, and they can get a cut a deal. And the Grime mode was signed, not me. So if they can get a deal off of me, capitalizing on the fact that I just did I'm So High. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, Grime mode comes first. So we couldn't agree on that, you know what I'm saying? And that's when the cease and desist letter came out. So it wasn't a situation of me being signed. It wasn't a situation of me being sneaky. It was me actually being loyal mm-hmm. to my dudes and saying, no, Grime mode comes before what y'all talking about. And if y'all can't fuck with that, then y'all, then do what y'all got to do.
You ain't had nobody saying like, man, you should have just did the album, dog. Nobody came at you like that, like, why you ain't just do the album, dog?
No, but that wouldn't have been the right thing to do.
No, I'm saying that you have anybody come at you like that.
Nah, to be honest, I never really spoke on it with them, because like, how do you, how do I come to you and say, listen, here's what it is. They don't want you. They want me. Mm-hmm. And this ain't got nothing to do with you. Mm-hmm. This is all about how they can make money off of me. How do I come to you like that? Like, nah, dog, like, yo, whatever happened, me and you together, Charles. And so if I lose my deal, I mean, if you lose, then we lost it together. That's how I felt. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I can't sit here and put myself up front and do this, because if I do this, there's a chance that now this ain't gonna happen. Mm-hmm. And that's the real of it. Like, if I had dropped a solo album before Grime mode came out, would they really be a Grime mode record then? You get what I'm saying? So, I had to, I made my best decision, you know what I'm saying, and felt like I'm gonna rock with my boys. We've been rocking together for years now. And we done grind together, or whatever the case may be. I'm with Grime mode right now. Y'all, I fuck with y'all. And then from there, now you gotta remember, I went to school. These are my homeboys. We had to separate, because by you sending that letter.
That mean you ain't really homeboys.
Yeah, but it was much more than that. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, one of the niggas is my daughter's godfather. You feel me? Oh. So it, like, with that happening, I couldn't sit there and look him in the face and be like, damn, we cool. We can't be cool right now. So we didn't talk for years. The only people I've talked to was Tech and Trek. The Chap was out of the situation by then. And Fence, and me and Fence was best friends. We go on the road. That was my dog, but we hadn't talked. I hadn't talked to Fence until I got out. I got out of prison. That's when I talked back to Fence. But up until then, nah, it was a wrap. It was a wrap.
So you end up going to prison too?
Yeah.
No, we nosy. Don't tell me that.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened, man?
Yeah, man. I told you I was in the streets.
Yeah, okay.
So like, I got jammed up. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And spent 2 years. 2 years locked down, you know what I'm saying? So when a lot of people's like, what happened to Grime, or why y'all wasn't, well, I mean, Hunger caught a little case, and then right after Hunger caught his case, I caught my case. So I was locked down, and I jumped out like at the end of 2018.
Well, like, do you feel like it was just like maybe pressure, like, to the success, like that went to fast money to?
Nah, like, here's the real of it. If you want to call rapping a career, I was famous to a point, but I never really saw no real money out of out of rap. I seen it all out of a chick. Like I got money from the streets, you know what I'm saying? Like I got all my money from the streets. And so like, you know what I'm saying, being able to translate that bread into a label, me running a label and me putting out artists and buying a studio and doing like for me to translate that into that, and that was it. But I wasn't seeing no money from rap. I lost money. Like I lost a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? But rap, it was like rap is my therapy. And like I said, this is all I thought about doing. So I was gonna do it regardless. You know what I'm saying? It's like some people got their habits. Some people will make $1 million and spend half of it on coke. You know what I'm saying? My thing is I make $1 million and half of it went to funding my rap fix. I you know what I'm saying? Like I was looking like a rapper, but I was, if I was depending on rap to have paid me, I'd be broke. You get what I'm saying? And so it's not like after the whole Grime situation and you know the notoriety started slowing down that I said, all right, well let me get back in the streets. I was always in it. I did stop once I was like, shit, if we drop this and we get picked up on a label, I can make this much money. Get a publishing deal, I can make this much money. Like, all right, let me really focus on this. So I sold off my escort service. I became a silent partner, so I had a little bread coming in here and there. But my focus, like all my money went right back into music. You get what I'm saying? So I was out of it. If you want to call that being out of it, I was out of it. I wasn't doing like, you know, I was just hands off and go in and collect my check and clear it. And then when everything started slowing down, you know what I'm saying, I get calls, hey daddy, what you doing? Dad, you know, let's get this money, daddy. I see you still out here, daddy. And so, you know, and me being on the road and being who I am, and I was like, damn, you want to go back to Miami? Hell yeah. Next thing I know, I was like, all right, I'm back in the streets. And so once I got back in the streets, it's like, you know what I'm saying, it's just like, it was just part of everything. I never got back up to that level again. You know what I'm saying? And nor did I feel like I needed to anymore. Now it's like, all right, I'm just chasing bread. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just chasing bread. So I got jammed up. And it took me getting locked down and realizing that, nigga, you played. Cause you know, and this wasn't just me thinking this is inmates. Tell me, what you in here for? Nigga, you that nigga that did that? Nigga, you played. Nigga, you don't know how talented you are. Nigga, you do like, so I'm getting this from inmates. I'm getting this like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas is like, you know who I'm in locked up with? Yeah, this nigga stupid, right, man? Like, so it took a nigga that my bunkie sit there, white boy, as a matter of fact, white boy bunkie, and me and his nigga talking, and he's like, I told him, I said, yeah, man, I was out there, I was doing music. And I was like, yeah, he's like, yeah, I did, I'm so high. He's like, the fuck out of here, bro. You did I'm So High? Bro, I fucking love that song. And this nigga would be it all day long. Yo, singing, yo, what were you thinking when you did that song? Like, I got an interview every fucking night with this nigga. Like, so, but he made me realize how many people I was actually touching with my music. And I wasn't respecting that. I wasn't really appreciating the fact that that little kid, that all he wanted to do was have people singing his shit, had got to that point. Whether you view success as how much money you make or not, I got to that point. Yeah, I made a little bread off of it, but I got to the point where what I was dreaming about happened, and I played. So I was in a dark place, but then the light started slowly but surely showing up, because now I got heads talking to me. I got people telling me, you know, fuck everything else. You that dude. You know, when you get back out, you got another chance. You got a little bit of time. Do that shit. Do that shit for us, nigga. Like let, you know what I'm saying? Let D Block know that you out there. You know what I'm talking about? Like, so I slowly and surely had time to think on me. You know, when you out, when you in the middle of the game, you be missing the play, you be missing the shots, and you don't know why. And sometimes it take the coach to sit you down. Look, oh, that's why. And when I got sat down, I had time to sit down and understand what I was doing wrong. Had time to understand how many people I was hurting. You know what I'm saying? Because the life of a rapper, you selfish. But I mean, it's part of it. You got to care about your career before you care about anything else. And I was being selfish to a lot of people, and I mean selfish and hurting a lot of people, and I had to understand that and get that through my head. And I just started like becoming more self-aware. I got into my Bible, got into my self-love. I got into my my meditation. You know what I'm saying? I realized all this, like when you out here, you got to have your rings, your jewelry, your watches, you got to shit. But when you jammed up, all you got is whatever you can carry in that bag by the time they tell you to ask to move, whenever they tell you to ask to move. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. You won't own shit. So my whole way of thinking about being the flashiest and all of that shit went out the window. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about possessions. It wasn't about possessions. No, it was just about me understanding who I am and being happy with who I am and forgiving myself, you know what I'm saying, and forgiving everybody else that may have wronged me, and if me trying to get forgiveness for anybody I may have wronged. So when I got out, dog, I was on an apology tour, dog. I was calling chicks up like, yeah, yo, you know what I'm talking about? Listen, I should have been a better mentor to you, man. I had you out there doing them crazy shit, man, like when I should have been, and like calling ex-girlfriends, yo, listen, I ain't know that was your friend. But real talk, I was on an apology tour, dog. Like I just went out there and I wanted to show people I was a different person. And I didn't really want to fuck with music, but everybody was like, yo, you out. We want to hear that shit. Let's hear that shit. Let's hear that shit. Let's hear that shit. Let's hear that shit. And shout out to Just Chill, my fam. Like, you know what I'm saying? We partnered up and had a studio in Fort Lauderdale. And I got a chance to sit back and still not be a musician. Didn't really record yet. I was engineering, bringing in new artists. I recorded like Sam K100, I can't think of these, but like a whole bunch of artists from Broward, because we was right off of Lauderhill Lakes near the club on 31st and where the McDonald's Plaza is. Yeah, we was there and we was just taking in all. You ain't got no money. All right, come on, I'll record you. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what you got, and just taking all these new young artists and seeing how hungry they was. You know what I'm talking about, and that just got that love back in me, and I started back recording and trying to sell hooks. And so when I came out, I went just started knocking out records. I think in the first month I probably knocked out 100 records. Just going ham, giving away records. I recorded an album with Sensei, a whole album called Wait, What Were You Expecting? And we dropped that. And then I just started doing hooks for everybody. I'm like, shit, let's show the love. So I got in and started doing hooks with everybody. So I did Steven the guy, I did a hook for Smiley from Pompano, I believe. I did a hook for him. I'm like doing just anybody who wanted to fuck with me and hear my new shit, let's go. And so I was just getting it in and so like for the last couple of years, that's all you've been hearing me doing is doing features and knocking out shit for people.
And how it is now, it's like it's a single. Like, talk to us about what the Trick reunion was.
Oh man,
you gotta let us know.
Listen, I mean, it brought me back to that time we was in Kapalua, and I'm backstage watching Trick perform, man. Like, and from there, like anybody that know me know Trick is one of my favorite rappers. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like he just his I don't care attitude, like the way he talked, like it was so Miami to me. And just to be that back there and not only see how the city came out, but to see how they came out for Miami. and for Trick, and he did some. He put all the old artists that you might not have known but forgot about, who paved the way for him, and he paved the way for all these new artists, and he gave him his platform. And it just made me think, why the fuck this hasn't happened yet? Like, why did it take 25 years in the game for this to happen? Whatever. Like, there should have been before I got jammed up. There should have been a Miami tour. We got artists. Mm-hmm. We got some extremely talented people. So, you know, but it was a pleasure being out there and being on the stage with him. And I'm glad I got the opportunity to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then not just with him, but being with every other artist from Miami, being on Briscoe and Ball Greasy and Mike Smith and Case and Buster Free, and like just to be on the same stage with my peers, my buddies, it was a vibe. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Damn it, dog. So like, did you catch the chills on that stage?
Yeah. I don't really catch the chills in it no more, but it's just like once I perform and I get that out the way, I can go back to being fanboy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Before then, I'm walking around like, yeah, no, I'm in. Yeah, all right, let's go. You know what I'm saying? But once it's done, I can get back down. It's like, oh, it's Trick. You heard what Trick said? Okay, yeah. It's like, you know, like I don't get the chills like that. I get a chance to do what I gotta do. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. And then we don't want to keep you in too long too. So and what you pushing to? Right now, so you want the people to go check out.
Yeah. Listen. First and foremost, man, follow me, Mcklezie, Mcklezie, everywhere, but especially on IG. I'm on that, and I got the new single, "It's Okay We Shonen," man. Like it's playing all over the place. They playing it. It's already started playing on the radio. The vibe is what it is, man. And you just been gonna love it, man. And
who's produced by?
Produced by Gorilla Tech. We back at it again, man. Yeah, it's just that vibe, it's that banger, man. And if you follow me on Mcklezie, Mcklezie, you can find the new videos. You can see everything I've been doing for the last 3 years. And
I was asking about what's up with the clothing line?
Mcklezie brand, Klezie, yeah. Like we got the hats, we got the female. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We got the female thing I'm talking about. We got the Fresca bars. You already know the Fresca bars is in the building, you know? And I mean, if you follow me, you'll find out everything that I'm on.
One more time, too.
Mcklezie, Mcklezie. Yeah, you could Google it, whatever like that. I'm all over the place. And and unfortunately we ran out of time. We ran long, man. I should do like a two shows.
My bad for covering you this long, because I'm like, I had to ride out with you, man.
Yeah. But I mean, we make it happen again. We could do part 2 whenever I'm fucking with this liquor.
Before you go out here, what these shades we got on one more time, though?
Fresca bars.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Fresca bar. FRE. Go bars. Something like that.
I'm gonna crank them up. Tippie Toe, touch your nose.
Yeah. FrescoBarEyewear.com. That's where you can find them at, man. If you go on my page, you'll find them.
You already know. Tippie Toe, touch your nose. Let them know who my guest was one more time.
This your boy, Mcklezie.com, Cass City's Golden Kid, Mr. Ray, and all that good shit. Yo, baby mama's baby daddy. The new Brewster's Million, a.k.a. bitch, I'm still here. That's clear, yeah.
Touch your nose. You know what it is. Tippie Toe. You already know we're going to turn out then.
That part.
Okay, then.